Okay, good afternoon, champions. So let's begin with our first presentation on Power BI. So just like most of you might be knowing me, but just benefit of new champions. So I'm Sandeep Karya, working as a director in MNC from last 21 years and in Champion Group from last 4 years. I would like to thank Anand and Naval for allowing me to take part in this digital advocacy group. I'm part of at present in content creation team, and it allows me to expand my capabilities. This is might be like first session for full house, so bear with me like if there is some glitches. Okay, so first of all, I would like everybody to put their comments on and just put the rating of Power BI from 1 to 5, where 1 means you don't have any knowledge at all, and 5 means you can create fully functional interactive dashboard. So what is the current level? That allow me to speed it up how I should proceed with this. Okay, I see 1, 2, 1, 2, 0, not an option. Yeah, there are some 4s also. 0.5, okay, out of box. Good. So on an average, 1 or 2 is most of the things. So yeah, I think current design is fine for those type of champions. So today's agenda is first we'll see that why analysis, why you need data analytics or analysis. Second, I will let you know what is Power BI. And third agenda is how to build interactive dashboard from scratch. So at least I can assure you after end of this session, you will reach minimum up to 3 to 4, if not 5. And you can try your own how you can do the analytics, whatever data you are dealing with. So there is no specific data format. Whenever we talk about analysis or analytics, there can be question like, I am project manager, why I need to learn Power BI, right? Because I may have data analytics people in my team, or my customer is not asking for me for analysis. So why I should do that? So just to answer that question, there are few reasons of that. So first of all, you all knowing data is new oil, right? So there is lots of value of data, and there are lots of raw data floating around, but there is no value of that raw data. So you need to do analytics and make it valuable. Second thing is PMTQ. So if you go through this Pulse of Profession 2019, that PMI article. So technical cautions is also important for project manager. So you should know lots of technical things when you are dealing with your project, and business analytics is all new things which somebody should know. And whether we believe it or not, analytics, or you are always dealing with data every day, because when you are passing your details of how your task is going on, how your project is going on to your sponsor, to your team, that is all data. So if you know some analytics, you can better represent your data. So it is not about working with some typical analytics job for customer. What is my purpose today is to help you, whatever data you are passing to your upper level, that should be analyzed and put it in more concise and drill down format instead of raw data. Okay, so now can anyone tell me what is current data size in a world? Can you put on chat and let me know? Sorry. So how much number of data we have in that? Any idea whether it is in TBs, PBs, EB? Several zettabyte. Yeah, correct. It is in zettabytes. So as per Google, current 2020 data size is 40 ZB. And ZB means 1024 TB is PB, 1024 PB is EB, and then 1024 EB is ZB. So it is reach up to ZB, and we already have next unit available. So it is keep on increasing. And this, so after the social media and like the Google Maps, this data is keep on increasing day by day. So it is all about self-service data analytics, as I said. So we need to target what we can do. We cannot go with our day-to-day data to our data analytics person that please create some charts for me, I want to represent. No. I want that project managers should be self-sufficient to create this type of analytics for their day-to-day job. So that is also the purpose of this. And this need is increasing in current era. Like, so everybody is working from home due to this COVID-19. And while you are working from home, you are not doing face-to-face meetings with your sponsors. So when you present your data, even if it is in raw format or in report, earlier you explain it when somebody asks questions. But now at present, what we expect is like you present your data in such a format that that person can drill down the data in their own, and they understand all the details about that. They get the insight about this data. So that is another purpose why analysis is important now. Okay. Let me close this chat. Okay. So let me put a pointer options here. Okay. So here now this is data to wisdom chart available over here in the right hand side. So all the raw data what I'm talking about, whether it is social media data or like latitude longitude data, it is all raw data. If I just paste this data in email, there is no meaning out of this, right? Or even in your day-to-day job, like if you just put that daily activity reports, it is all raw data. Your top level will not understand. So whenever you go to your sponsor with some data, they seek more detailed level of data that is called information, right? So you need to connect all the parts of your data, whether that data is Excel file or maybe machine generated CSV file or in cloud or whatever tools you have, Microsoft projects or anything. You need to put all data together and connect that. That is called information. But is that information is also enough? No. We need to format it as a whole, and then we need to reach at a knowledge level where you can interact with your data. So once you reach it to knowledge level, that is something like somebody can appreciate, it will answer your why and all the question. And after joining all the holes and create wisdom level, that is called reflecting. So we need to reach from current data to wisdom, or at least at the knowledge level using such tools. And here there is another interpretation in the left hand side. So here there is an understanding and correctness of on X and Y axis, and you can see that once you start understanding relation, that is create information, and once you start understanding a pattern of your data, that reaches to the knowledge, and once you start understanding your principles, that is called wisdom. So there are 4 levels of analytics available. So first, you can see that there is a difficulty on x-axis and value on a y-axis. So first is descriptive analytics. Now, once you go for descriptive analysis, that is something your schedule reports, query, or ad hoc reporting. So whatever normal report any tool can represent, or any tool can give out or export, whether it is crystal report in PDF or in Excel. So that is called descriptive analysis. But that answer only your question of what happened. So it is all raw format. Whatever is happening, you just represent the data over here. Is it enough? No. Once you suppose you give some raw data in a very big report of 30 pages, that this task is going on, and this task is getting on time, and this task is getting delayed. Now that raw data doesn't have much meaning when you represent to the sponsor. So when you go in face-to-face meeting, they will definitely ask the question, why did it happen? So why these delays are happening? If you no need to answer that question, you need to go for this diagnostic analytics. Now, this diagnostic analytics is something in line with what Power BI can represent because it gives you visualization. So, in that, you can drill down your data and come to the point that why it is happening. If particular task is getting delayed, why it is getting delayed. If particular project is getting delayed, why it is getting delayed. So, you can drill down those data and go up to the reason. Maybe like some resources are going on unplanned leave, or maybe some new requirements are getting added. So that details you need to get to drill down. Once you go to the third level, that will answer your question, what will happen? So this is called futuristic analysis, forecasting you can say. So weather forecasting in COVID-19, like after 15 days, this many cases will happen on that type of cases. So that is, again, once you start understanding your pattern, you can forecast that this pattern is going in this direction. So this is called predictive modeling and pattern matching. Again, little bit advanced level from diagnosis. And last level of this is how can we make it happen? How can this will happen if I want this as a target? And that is here that require neural network, simulation, Monte Carlo, that type of thing. Today in Power BI, we deal mostly with this diagnostic, and then maybe after that, once you mature, you can go up to predictive analytics. Okay, so this answer your question like why I need to learn Power BI. But again, we need to answer like why, or maybe you want this answer that you need data analytics, but why Power BI only and not other tools? So you can see this January 19 Gartner report. This is our leadership quadrant over there. So you can see that Microsoft is top on in a leadership position, way beyond all other tools, and even little above Tableau. So I remember before 3 to 4 years, most of our customers were using Tableau, and Tableau was a world leader in all this BI platform. But now even Microsoft took over that platform, and now it is leading both in terms of completeness of vision and even ability to execute. So that's why this Microsoft Power BI tool is much more beneficial to learn compared to any other tool. Okay. Next point we'll go for is what is Power BI. So Power BI is a business analytics service that delivers insight to enable fast, informed decisions. So it is not something like it will take decision for you, but it allows you to get insight of your data very fast, and it allows you to take decision. It transforms your data in stunning visual and share them with your colleagues on any device. This is another important area. So not only it gives you charts, which might be possible in many other tools, including Excel, but it gives like a very nice format of interactive visual charts, and you can share that data to the colleagues, which can work in any device. They need not to have Power BI installed in their laptop or even in a mobile. You can share that, publish that data, and they can work on that data. And it is not something like static PDF report. They can click, they can filter, they can interact. So it is all interactive dashboard. You can visually explore and analyze data on-premise and in the cloud. So it is not something like you need one tool for on-premise data, another tool for cloud. So you can combine your data from on-premise, from cloud, and all in single view you can see that. Another point is you can collaborate on and share customized dashboard in interactive reports. So most of you might be using Microsoft Teams nowadays for sharing platform. This Power BI can allow you to share your dashboard or publish your dashboard in Teams, and people can chat on particular chart or particular dashboard and collaborate on that. That is another powerful feature of Power BI. It can scale across your organization with built-in governance and security. Again, data is new oil. It is quite precious. You cannot share data anywhere. Microsoft has all the platform available, so you have that security and governance in place. You have your Microsoft Azure ID or Office 365 ID. You can directly use those user ID and make it secure. Okay. Many of you might be Excel users and you might be aware that there were these 3 add-ins, might be in 2013 or 2016 Excel version. So these add-ins were available separately. That is called Power Query, Power Pivot, and Power View. So all these 3 add-ins is now part of Power BI. So you might, if you work earlier with any of these 3, that might be useful for you to understand these details. So, and if you are using just a pivot table feature of Excel, so this is also one next level of that. So in addition of these 3, there are many other features, but this all 3 is covered in this single tool. This is something like self-service BI versus enterprise BI tool. So you might remember this ETL data warehousing, maybe during your college days or your earlier career, people are using this data warehousing technique. SQL Server has many such services for this. So this is all enterprise class architecture, which has different tools for different things. But here, this Power BI has single tool, which allows you to get your data, model it, and visualize all in single platform. So today we are targeting this self-service BI platform for Power BI. Okay, use of Power BI. So in Power BI desktop, it is used to import your data from variety of formats, wherever they are, clean your data. Data cleaning, data massaging is quite important thing in any data analytics because there might be some anomalies in your data. Some data might not be in a format where you require, so you may need a little bit of data cleaning, and then you visualize your data. Once it's done in your Power BI desktop, you need to publish your data or distribute your data to the audience. Okay, now Power BI licensing. Obviously, when you start working with some tool or using some tool, first you need to know like what it will cost. So you can see that Power BI desktop, this offering is free to any single user and include data cleaning and preparation. It also allows custom visualization ability to publish in Power BI service only. Okay. Second is Power BI Pro. So Power BI Pro is a pro plan. There is again quite cheaper, just like $9.99, so $10 per user per month. So this allows you to distribute your Power BI output to any level. So you can publish anywhere on the cloud, and it allows you to have free trial for 60 days. Benefit of this is again like you only need this licensing for designing. Once you distribute, it doesn't limit you to how many users can use that after publishing. So that is again the benefit of Power BI compared to other tools which limit number of users also and put a licensing on that also. Third is Power BI Premium, again beyond this scope, but it is quite costly because it allows you to give dedicated computing, cloud services, storage, everything. So that is for enterprise class application. What are the different report distribution options are there? So Power BI service, as we see like on Azure, so this is a very basic distribution option. Power BI report server, if you have on-premise requirement for publishing, you can have this report server. It has some additional licensing cost. And Power BI embedded, it has like for enterprises on Azure and then for ISV and developers also. So these 3 levels of report distribution options are there. So in summary, you are author where you can take data from different formats. Then you take data in Power BI desktop. After that, you publish your data on powerbi.com or to any other platform if you have Pro license, and then consume the data by a variety of users. And it can take combination of data, whether your data is on cloud, Azure is one thing, but maybe other clouds also, and on-premise, and then have concise single view as a Power BI service. So that's it for theory part. So I go faster from theory because I want to go step by step practical way to how we can develop our first Power BI dashboard. So there are two things. One is like this PPT allow you to go one by screenshot. But as this is live, like I will like to go for live thing. So first of all, step 0, you need to download Power BI desktop. Again, you need not to download at present, but just want to mention this is a one single URL where you can download. If you don't have Windows 10 installed, if you have Windows 10 installed, you just need to type in search box Power BI desktop. It will give you this app available. Just need to click on get and download. It will get installed on your machine. So very simple to download and install this free tool on your desktop. And after that, this is step-by-step thing, but I would like to now stop this presentation and go to Power BI directly. Okay. So can you see this Power BI desktop screen instead of presentation now? So this is what you will get when I open Power BI desktop. Yeah, I just clicked on this Power BI desktop shortcut on my screen. It is already ready over here. So this screen you will get simple white canvas for you to work with. You have this left hand side, which I will explain later, and this top ribbon. So if you are using any Microsoft tool like Excel, Word, or PPT, you might know like how ribbon works. And there are two right hand side portion. Here there is a visualization. You have various charts available, and then you have different fields. So as you put the data, you will see some data here. So let me first get some data. So this external data area, like group of ribbon, there is a get data option. You can get Excel, SQL Server, text, CSV directly from here, and then there is an option of more. So I'm just clicking more because I want to show the power of Power BI. So you can see like you can take data from normal Excel like JSON, XML, even SharePoint folder, then MySQL, IBM, DB2, Postgres, whatever name it, right? So SAP HANA, if you have data in that, this all cloud options, Azure, SQL Server, HD inside your like big data platforms, so that is also there. Then even some interesting beta copies are there, like Team Desk is there. Even if you are getting some survey from SurveyMonkey, you can connect with that data also over here. So even like you can see some Python and R, all the latest R script, Python script, you can have connector with that also. So it allows you to have data from anywhere, and it is not something that you can get data only from one platform. You can get data from CSV also, Excel also, and within one single report. So it is not something like I just need data from one platform. I have data from two platforms at present. Let me connect first with CSV. So I click on this connect, and it allows me to select my file from my desktop, my drive. I have this CSV file for sales data. Once I open it, it will represent this data. So it understands the CSV. It puts heading based on first row. You can see this product ID, date, zip, means location, units, and revenue. Only these columns are there in CSV, and it gives initial data format only. And I can see that this data is proper. I don't need any massage or cleaning. I can click on load. So it will take some time to load this data. So you can see that modeling is done, and then MBs, 2 MBs, like it will take data. It has like 200, 250 MB of data in that. And there is another advantage of Power BI, that it is highly compressed format. So it takes all the data within that file format of Power BI. It doesn't require to get data every time from the data source. And that's why like it allows you to have quick click on all the data. So now all the data.
So where does this data get stored when you are loading it? Where does it get stored? It has inbuilt DB, is it? The BI
Yeah, so
desktop?
there is a format of DB. So I have one file format. At present, it is in a temporary file. But if I save this file, you can see like that Power BI. So this type of format will be created over here, PBIX format. So overall, this 49 MB is my final report with all the data. So instead of 250 or 300 MB, it will compress to those size.
It's Sandeep Kapil here. One question
So
is
now,
on the, yeah, sorry. How do you connect with Office 365?
So I think
give time for
questions later on. Yeah. I think
Okay,
guys,
okay,
just
okay,
hold
okay.
on. Let him finish the demo. Yeah.
Okay. So you can see the data come over here. So I can see that sales file I have imported, and it has this column, and I can select whatever I want. Suppose I want this revenue, I just pick this box, and it starts loading data in some chart format because my chart is selected by default. But this is not meaningful. Let me put something like cards. So it has some option of cards. So I can right away see that 1.70 billion is my total revenue based on this file. Now this data only has product ID, not much meaningful that. Zip code, again, it is just a raw data type of thing. It is not understandable. So I need some another files also. So let me get another file out of that. So this time I have data in Excel, and I have some BI dimension type of files over here, just to have like a simpler demo. So as I load this file, so for Excel, you see that different sheets are there in that Excel file. So you can see these 4 icons for 4 sheets. I can select one by one, and you can see in the right hand side, I can see the data. So I want all these 4 data to be loaded in this dashboard. Okay. And this side you can see like there are some problems with this data also. So in this you can see that top column is column 3, column 4, auto column is done. So this is not proper. Here in manufacturing, my ID name is on first column. So it is not tabular format, it is just horizontal format. This geo has some initial rows of some description or some last updated date, so it is not proper format. So I need some massaging. So whenever you need some more massaging, instead of load, you need to click on edit button. So this edit button will open all this data in one new window, and that is called Power Query Editor. People are calling this as a kitchen of Power BI, where you can massage your data, you can clean your data. So slowly, like I will go one by one. So first I can see these columns are not proper. I need this column. So there is a very direct option available, use first row as headers. I just need to click this, and this data is become proper for me. And on the right hand side, you can see this applied steps. So some steps Power BI automatically applied, and whatever I did manually is recorded over here. I can go back to this top step and roll back my decision also from here. And because of these steps, which is recorded, just like our macro recording in Excel, it allows you to do same step whenever you have new data. So it doesn't have something hard-coded only for this. It is recorded and executed in future. And in top, you can see the name of your table. That is also important if you want to customize that name. Second thing is this manufacturing thing. Again, you can see that all the columns are over here. I need to completely transpose this data. If I need to do, there is another ribbon item, transform. Here there is an option for transpose, and you see the magic over there. So all the data is transposed from here, like horizontal to vertical. And here again, that problem is there. That first row I need as a column. So I did another step over here. And now this data is proper. I also see like there are some data like logo, image. I don't need this type of data in my analytics. I can just delete that data, select everything, and remove all the columns. So that is also recorded over here. Here in Geo, you can see like there are more than one column, so I cannot say like keep my first row as a header. So I first need to delete some of the rows. again, some options are available. Remove top rows, and it will ask me how many you want to remove. I want to remove first 2, and then I need to select first row as well. So now these geographical things are also proper. Here I see like this zip data also has some problem. I may need to change it to text, because what happens is Power BI take initial few hundred of data and take the decision of data type and so on. So it is considered as a whole number. But as we know, like in US, that is text format, and I know like some text data is there. So I need to change that step over here and make it text. And this data is already proper. We know that this is all CSV data, is all proper. So we may not need anything like that. Here also zip is there, and I need to change to text. Okay. So we are done with all the massaging. Once you do, we need to remember, click on close and apply. So you can see that all the data is getting calculated over here. It will again transpose everything in this file from that editor. And all 5 data is getting massaged in parallel. So multi-threading is applied. Okay. It also detected relationship. So if you work in like Crystal report or anything, you can see like it connect all the data automatically based on field type and field numbers, field names. And if you want to do manual relationship also, you can do it. Obviously, in that Power Query editor, you have lots of more options. If you want to concat 2 columns, you want to split some columns, everything is possible. So it was quite powerful tool. We see just like a few things out of that. So now all the data is available in your fields. So here you can see like lots of data available, all the tables and fields. Let me take now product name from this name. So I can take this and then revenue. So by product name, I want revenue to be pointed. So I see like it is available in some data format. If I select just one chart over here, and I can see that my chart is available with this. Yeah. So I can right away see that which is a product which has maximum revenue generation. Now, whenever you have any dashboard, date component is quite important. So there is a very powerful tool over here for date slicer. So I need to select all the dates, and then here I need the date slicer over here. Where is date? Here it is. Okay. So you can filter your data based on date right from the slicer. I can also have some line chart because I want to know like how my revenue is going over time. So I can again select my date and my revenue right over here. And you can see that how it goes, and I can select line chart over here. So I can see like how my revenue is growing. Okay. And another powerful feature is geographical things. So I can go in this geo things. I can select my country, maybe region, and maybe revenue. And then I select my tool. So, okay. So you see like small pie charts over there in different geographical regions. So this is another powerful thing of this Power BI platform. So just like, and once you are done with all these things, you can publish this data to your platform. But just like you may see the cookery show, so I have my powerful dashboard available right over here. So let me show that dashboard, how powerful you can create that. So this type of dashboard can be created just from whatever data we took over here. So again, say a geographical thing with some bubble chart over there, some line chart. Again, this bubble chart over time. And it is very good thing how we see that data in published platform. So here I published in my Power BI platform, and I can click on this report and view full screen. So I can see both the sheets available here. And now you can see the power of this, that you see that over a time how my data is flowing over here. And if I select one area, how my other data is changing over that. So this is the main power of Power BI, that all charts are interconnected with in between, and clicking on one thing will let other things also highlighted, that how this thing is going on. You can also drill down to that data or see the data points of that table if it is a last point. So I just drill down and I see that what is the data behind this. And another thing, here also you see the country. I select and you can see all the data is reflecting over there. I'm just going back to my original screen now. Here you can also quickly see like how this data, even during Core 3, you can see like this date changing and your data is changing. And I'm just thinking that this product line is giving lots of revenue for me. But if I click on this, I can see, oh, I'm wrong. So it like goes below in 2015. Again, it picked up till 2017, but after that, it is going lesser, right? So it is reducing over time. So I need to work on this. So that type of informed decision also you can take using this platform. And one other good feature I want to highlight is ask question. So little bit of AI you can say, or like language detection. So if I want to say revenue by product, so you see like the data is keep on coming, and you see the chart is already created. I just type very layman language, and it creates some chart out of that by understanding my language. Even I need not to think what to select, which chart I need to go for. It decide what I mean based on some keyword like revenue is there somewhere, product is there somewhere. Even if my spelling might not be proper, it generates some chart what is there in my mind. So that type of technology is also there within this.
Okay, Sandeep, just check.
This is
it's
all.
40. Yeah, it's 4:05 when you need to end. So a few more minutes are okay. But yeah, let's kind of
Okay. So just I will go back to my presentation and I will go to end because I done with my.
Sandeep, can you show us that Excel
only
sheet?
Thing I want.
Sorry, Sandeep, can you show us that Excel sheet through which the data model got designed, right, in the Power BI tool? So
yeah,
would it be possible?
Yeah, we can see like in question like, and I can also share with you guys. So I just want to see this portfolio management video pretty fast to you. So like you might be thinking like this is all production data. It might not be useful for me. So let me show like how this can helpful in our. Sorry, the sharing screen is coming in between. Let me stop sharing and share it again. Okay. And this is a video, so I will share by proper setting, optimize for motion and video, and share this. So this is 5-minute video, but I will just fast forward it. But this is interesting one.
Microsoft has released a Power BI content pack for Microsoft Project for the web. The content pack allows organizations
So this
to
is one
deploy
tool,
out-of-the-box
which allows you
reporting
to
against this new
Power BI
service.
content
It's a
pack.
very nice way to
Again, it
see
is third
status
party,
across
but
all the
we can
projects
think
being
of
worked on,
creating our own this type of thing.
visuals, and
So
their
you can see
timelines.
this is
On the
taking one
portfolio
portfolio
dashboard, the
dashboard.
cards on the
It has
left
21
summarize
projects,
how many projects we have
18K of
and what the
effort
total
in hours,
effort
and it is
completed,
getting data
and
from
effort
various
remaining is. We
project
can filter
files
the report
and
by
putting all
projects that
data
are not
together in one
started,
single chart.
completed,
So you can think of like
or in
directly
progress.
clicking on
The
chart.
visual
It is
in the middle
reflecting
allows us to quickly
where
see
is
the effort by
efforts
project
going
and what's
and
completed and remaining. The
project
pie
by
chart on
different
the
project
right
managers you
allows
can
us to
see,
filter
and at the
for
bottom you can
individual
see what the
project
status of that
managers,
project.
and the visual
Right
get more
on
detailed
single
information.
screen, and then
And of course,
you can also
we
drill
can
down
filter by
on
project
the
progress
timeline of
or
portfolio.
project manager, or even
So
choose
this is
the
just to show
upcoming
that
milestones for
and
the
the
next
power,
30
because
days.
this is
The
what we are
red,
creating
yellow,
for
green traffic light
dashboard.
indicators
But if you
show
give
us which
more
milestones are
efforts to this
overdue,
Power BI,
late,
you can see
ongoing,
the
future,
Can you hear
or
us?
completed.
Yeah.
And
So
again,
can you mute the
we can
video?
So then,
I can't hear you.
okay.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah, so this is all like what I want to show. That this is something, some type of thing which you can do as a portfolio management within Power BI. This is just I took because Saptarshi asked one question recently, and he wants to use different Excel files from different users. So yeah, that's it from my side, and it is a question. If you want to take it now, Anand.